Call me crazy, I don't care. Anti-Semitic, don't you dare. Whatever you got, do your worst. Kiss my ass, 'cause I'm America first. I'm America first.
What's up, guys? You know, I'm laying in bed watching a movie with my son. Angel sends me a thing about Trump at a dinner. And all over the news, I get up and start looking, and all over the news is people saying they tried to assassinate him. They tried to shoot him again. Luckily, they didn't get nowhere near close to him. But now they're at a White House dinner at a hotel. It was at a hotel, but it was a White House dinner. This is the President of the United States, people. Can't you have enough people to guard this man? Okay, whether people like it or not, what I say next, if it upsets you, if you don't want to be a family member here no more, I understand. I understand. I voted for this man, and I'll say it, he's doing shit for us that was supposed to have been done a long time ago, but people are just too afraid to say it. This man's not afraid to say it. Man is not afraid to do it. Now, there's some things that I don't agree with him. Even though I did vote for him, there is some things that I do not agree with. But how you going to take a man's life because his beliefs are different than yours? Okay? There's a lot of things that I don't agree with somebody else. Does that mean I'm going to go out there and try and do something to them? Hell no, I'm just not going to listen to them. I'll still be friends with them, but I'm just not going to listen to their side of the story. I'll believe in mine, you believe in yours. Now, we're going to watch some of the news here, and we're going to listen. But when I hear what I want to say something, I will pause it and I will give my opinion. Now, everybody knows that comes here, I hope, realizes that my channel is opinions. You can say whatever you want. I may not agree with it, but that's okay. Do you know why? Because we're in America. We can agree to disagree and go about with our lives. I may not agree with yours. That's okay. We can go on with our lives. This shit here is like high school bullshit. I'm sorry. I'm just ranting and raving about this. It just pisses me off that people want to kill people over bullshit. We were founded on the freedom of speech. Thank you, mentors. We were founded on freedom. First word in the whole sentence. Freedom of speech. And that's their opinion to state that, though, honey. If they want to say he's stupid, that's their opinion. That's the good thing about living in the United States of fucking America. They can say shit like that. We don't have to agree with them, though. We don't have to agree with them. And another thing, let me fix this right quick. Another thing. Sorry guys, now I got a cigarette in my mouth. I gotta get serious. All right, another thing. No. Not all the government is. Liberals or Democrats are afraid of this man because they want the country run to where they can line their pockets with money. They just mad because this man's got thicker lining in his pocket than they do. People are so ignorant. This reminds me of being persecuted. Doing the right thing and saying the right things, and people still disagreeing with him, downing him. Does that sound like somebody else, guys? I'm not comparing him to that man, but that's what it sounds like. So history does repeat itself. Mentos, I agree with you 100%. Like I said, I may not agree with all of his decisions. But to put America first, yes, I do. Do I agree with ICE? Yes, I do. Do I agree with him getting rid of illegal aliens? Yes, I do. And if people in America don't like it, they know that they can leave too. Because America is a land of the free. Free to leave. Free to do what you want to do. To a certain extent. Free to not live here if you don't want to. You don't like America? Pack your bags. Pack your bags. All right, guys. I'm going to bring it up here, and we getting ready to watch it. Hold on, guys. Turn the TV off.
Turn the... That said you are to turn the TV off. I'll just do it.
All right, guys, we getting ready to watch, so let me bring it up.
I have to say, I've been around law enforcement, Capitol Police, Secret Service, Metropolitan Police, folks that aren't in uniform that go to events like this and are protecting principals. They are unbelievably professional. You never see their firearms. They always have them holstered, ready to go at a moment's notice, but they never take them out unless there is a threat. And that's, honestly, Jessica, that was the first time that I was nervous when I saw
Can y'all see this?
those law
Put a one in
enforcement
chat.
officers with their guns drawn, prepared to act if they needed to, which is just not something that you ever see happen, despite the fact that you see this level of law enforcement at events like these all the time. So that gave us a real understanding that this was not a situation that they were taking lightly. And then, once the president was out of the room, once most of the principals were out of the room, it was very much a wait and see moment. What's going to happen now? What more do we know about this situation? And then from there, it's kind of devolved to where we are now, where the president has said that he's okay, all the members of the cabinet are okay, and then he's going to talk about this a little bit later on. And Jessica, you made a point earlier that I think is worth going back to, and about the significance of Donald Trump being at this event tonight. Donald Trump is now in his second term. He has never been to a White House Correspondents Association dinner. This has long been a tradition of presidents to attend the White House Correspondents Association dinner. President Biden went to 3 of the 4 in his term. The one he didn't go to was during the height of COVID, and there wasn't a dinner. And it's just something that he has always skipped for one reason or another. And he obviously has a very adversarial relationship with the press. And so this was considered a bit of a breakthrough, the fact that he had decided to attend the event, but there was a lot of anxiety as to what the interaction was going to be like between the president and the folks that cover him on a day-to-day basis. Some of the folks that were going to win awards tonight were people that won awards specifically because of their coverage critical of this administration on many different levels. And so, I spoke to someone close to the president prior to the event who had actually seen his remarks and had said that they were going to be funny and that they were also going to be devastating, but to also expect that he was not going to stick to his script. Many people thought that there was a possibility that he could speak for more than an hour tonight. Given that this was his first opportunity to speak to this particular group. And there was a lot of controversy around it as well. There were many people that questioned whether or not journalists should be in that room tonight, given how confrontational the president has been with the press, the fact that he's called the free press the enemy of the people, and whether or not it was appropriate for those of us to be in that room. So the fact that this all happened in the wake of what was going to be his first appearance at the White House Correspondents Association dinner as President of the United States, I think is...
Okay, guys, this gentleman, let me shrink this down a minute. So, let me shrink this down. I'll put it back up. But now, this gentleman, he was also there. He was also there. And Trump is going to speak here in a minute on this. So I will go look for that also. Trump is going to go look for this. Go speak on this. So I'll look for it in a minute. Hey, Mr. Michigan. It's okay. Guys, let me bring this back up. Hold on.
All protectees. One individual is in custody. The condition of those involved is not yet known, and law enforcement is actively assessing the situation.
Y'all share this out.
Secret Service says law enforcement does have a person,
to hear my opinion,
the shooter, in custody. It is unclear if anybody else was hurt during this situation. We do know that the president and the attendees at that ballroom, in that ballroom tonight, are safe. They have been evacuated. Reporters, correspondents, press is still, we believe, making their way out. As we're told, the event has been postponed. The president wants to do it in the next 30 days. It is unclear whether that will happen, but we are awaiting remarks from the president of the United States right now in the briefing room. Until that time, we want to go back to NBC's Julie Sirkin, who was attending the dinner tonight. She's now outside the Washington Hilton. Julie, one of the things that Ryan Nobles and I talked about a little bit is the several layers of security that you had to get to even get into that building or anywhere close to the ballroom. It's unclear whether this person had a ticket and that's why he or she was able to get inside, or perhaps they'd already been in the hotel, possibly a guest. I'm wondering if you're hearing anything along these lines yet tonight.
Yeah, it could have been any situation because this hotel has so many different entrances and exits. And I will tell you, like I mentioned, in years past that I've attended, the president mostly always attends. I've only attended under President Biden, the last year of President Trump. Either way, the security here is always intense. And you get dropped.
I will put it back up. When I see him walk up, I will put it back up. Okay? And I have it right here. I'm looking straight at it. When I see him walk up, I'll put it back up. But I got to get this shit out, guys. There are idiots out there idiots out there that want to shoot a man over what he says, what he's trying to do for this country, try to build it back up. Guys, if you can't get over that, get the hell out. Get out. To me, this man is one of the better presidents since Ronald Reagan. Ronald Reagan. And I'm sorry if that upsets anybody since I said that, but yeah. And if y'all don't know who Ronald Reagan is, go back and look him up in history. And I love the picture with me there with that Make America Great Again. I had that made just like I had the FAFO made again. Love it. But guys, why do we, when someone tries to do good for America, why do these people try to take them out? Take them out. Why? These people are trying to make it better for us in this world. Now, some of the things Trump is doing ain't doing too good. Gas prices, yeah, them ain't too good. I don't care. Them ain't too good. Gas prices are not too good. Hey, Mary Jane Doe. Now, like I said, I don't care. And if it upsets you that I think that Trump is great, I love each and every one of you. I dearly do love each and every one of you. But if you think that I'm wrong when I say that Trump is great again, you don't have to be here. You do not have to be here. There's a lot of people that say that. I still love them though. I know Chicken Snake, he don't like Trump. I still love Chicken Snake. Great man. Great man. We just have a difference of opinion. But we can do that because we live in America. We can have a difference of opinion, but I can still like that man, and I hope that he can still like me. There may be a lot of people in here that don't like Trump. But that's okay. I still love them. Just because they like somebody different than me and I like somebody different than them. Exactly. It should never come between family and friends. This man shouldn't come between two sides of politics. Did you see anybody try to do anything when Biden was in office? No. No. Because what's the use? If somebody would have took him out, they had a worse one coming in. Kamala would have been a whole lot worse. But she would have been the president. And we would have had to listen to her. Well, wouldn't have had to listen to her, but we would have probably had to follow some of her rules. And I'll go ahead and say, right, Mr. Michigan, I'll go ahead and say this. I don't like, I will say this, and please don't get mad if anybody in this room has an opinion or a family member or somebody they know that they love dearly. I don't like chicks with kickstands. But that don't mean that they can't come in here and listen to music with us or listen to this with us and over on White Trash to listen to music with us. Their lifestyle and their opinions don't make me run my channel. Their opinions and their lifestyle don't run my lifestyle. So please, guys, get over it. He is the president. Let him run through his what he has left. And we'll go on to the next one. Now, the next one I may not even like. But I'll put up with him because he is the president of the United States. It is a sad day. It is a sad, sad day when our government tries to take out a president or someone else has to take out a president. I am so over this bullshit, guys. I am so over it. And guys, I know I got church in the morning and I'm sitting here cussing, but they push and they push and they push and they push. And it just, the old urges come back, guys. The old urges come back. Jesus is still working with me, and boy, he's got his hand on my shoulder right now, so I don't say the wrong thing and make y'all mad at me. Me too, mentors. I don't care if you're Democrat, Republican, or whatever. I am for America. I am for what America stood for back when we were growing up, not the stuff that it is today. This is all getting us nowhere. Getting us nowhere. Back when I was growing up and in high school, if a boy tried to enter a girl's locker room, his ass went to the principal's office and got suspended. Now they're letting boys go into women's bathroom in a fucking dress. They're letting them do women's sports. They're letting men enter women's prison because they say they are women. They are female. Y'all ain't female. You got a dick hanging between your legs. Two types of humans on earth. Men and women. Whatever you were born, if you were born a male, you are a male. If you were born a female, you are a female. Oh. All right, let's bring this back up, guys.
The president, though you may think was never in harm's way, that somebody with a shotgun was that close to the president inside the same hotel, obviously does not bode well for anybody who was in that ballroom. It could have been much more dangerous, and a lot of kudos to the Secret Service and to law enforcement there in Washington, D.C. to take down this shooter, because it's unclear exactly how close he could have gotten. At this hour right now, the dinner itself was going to have to be canceled because of law enforcement and the dangers and the security protocol that were happening at the moment. We know the president will host a news conference from the White House shortly to talk about what he experienced, what he saw, and what he's been told by the Secret Service. Ryan Nobles has been joining our coverage, has been covering this from the moment that it happened. Ryan, quite the night here, and it's not lost on me that we were both anchoring tonight in tuxedos, having rushed from this event and now telling the viewers at home exactly what has happened. And over the year and a half, I've been thinking about sort of the White House press corps and the campaign reporters that have been with President Trump since Butler, and how much they have gone through and seen some of those same people that were there in Butler when that happened. Of course, the president almost losing his life, Corey Compantore losing his life in that assassination attempt, and then now, a year and a half into his presidency, the president's life again threatened right at the White House Correspondents' Dinner.
Yeah, Tom, it was pretty remarkable to be in that room and hear what initially, and I don't know from your perspective what it sounded like to you, but it didn't sound like gunshots. It sounded like maybe a waiter had dropped a...
I thought he was coming up. Sorry, guys. I'll bring it back up when he comes back up. Another thing I want to say. If you are going to have... This goes back all the way, and I talked about it on this channel right here. If you're going to try to assassinate a president, don't use a patsy and try and cover it up and get him to take the fall for your dumbass decisions. Oswald was a patsy. He took a fall. I don't believe that Tyler dude is the one that shot at Trump. I don't know. I really don't know, mentors. But even the people that are against the United States, and that was another setup. But if, as sick as I am with this diabetes, neuropathy, and whatever else I've got, hell, I don't even know what all I got. If they would let me, I would go stand side by side with American soldiers and defend this country to this day. If they would take my felonies away and say, them things are gone, go to it. Don't think that I wouldn't go up there and defend this country. Because I got a wife, wonderful children. And I would defend this country to this day if they would let me. But me being young and dumb, I messed up and I couldn't do it. Never even thought about it because we didn't have to think about it. We didn't have to think about joining back then, because back when I was young, Reagan was president. Everything run great. They tried to get rid of him because they didn't like his beliefs. And he made it. They tried to do it too. Trump, 4 times now. And he's still here. If you can't do it in 4 times, pack your bags up and quit. All right, guys, looks like they're getting ready to do something, so here we go.
And good evening. We are coming on the air right now with breaking news out of Washington, D.C. President Trump is about to speak at the White House after shots were fired just outside the White House Correspondents' Dinner tonight, forcing the president and other top administration officials to evacuate the Washington Hilton. The president was attending the event for the first time as president alongside members of the press and was expected to give remarks the president posting on social media that the shooter is in custody and that the First Lady, the Vice President, and all cabinet members are in, quote, perfect condition. The Secret Service is now investigating the shooting incident. The president is about to speak. When he does, we will bring that to you live. You can see right there in the briefing room as we await the president to come in. You'll notice I'm in a tuxedo, and that is because we raced from the Washington Hilton here to our studios in Washington, D.C. This is a very unusual night, and hence the unusual appearance for this report. Gabe Gutierrez, I understand, has made his way to the White House right now for us. Gabe, you and I were inside the Washington Hilton when this happened. I was seated next to Secretary of State Marco Rubio on one side and the Energy Secretary on the other side. When this commotion happened, everyone hit the ground, looking, the Secretary of State looking at both his wife, who was across the table, and also at the president, and wanting to see what was happening, as I was trying to tell him to get under the table because they were asking everyone to get under. And then Secret Service and law enforcement going table by table, taking each cabinet member and their spouse out and getting them to a secure location after the president was safely behind the stage, from what we understand, when this first happened. And it was really unclear, Gabe, what was happening. We saw law enforcement come in. There were scores of agents and law enforcement and Secret Service that came in, guns drawn, fingers on the trigger, and they were just rushing through that ballroom, really not letting anything get in their way so they could make a beeline towards the president. Gabe, I know you were sitting just behind me, and I'm not sure if it was who was sitting at your table, but I know there were other cabinet members that were sitting all around us at the NBC News tables.
Yeah, that's right, Tom. Look, it was a surreal experience. Secretary Burgum was at my table. He immediately dropped to the ground along with his wife.
I want to hear when he goes up. I want to hear what he has to say. So we'll bring it back up. One thing I want to say, and I'm not kicking against anybody's lifestyle. I don't care. I don't like it myself. If my son, I'm just saying, Tyler, if my son was gay and loved another man, that's on him. I would still love my son. And I would still visit. Just don't push that lifestyle on me or push it in like that. And Mr. Michigan, I don't have nothing to where, well, I can't say that, but mine's legal. You come to my house, you are on camera, you have been warned, and you will be dealt with swiftly. That's anybody that tries to harm my family. And I do see you, Summer Thunder, honey. I'm just busy talking. I do see you. I do see you. But I do, and okay, Mentors. Mentors is a Marine Corps, and I love Marine Corps. That's because my dad was one. Semper Fi, hoorah. But if he had a different lifestyle, I'd still love him. I just wouldn't want him to push it on me. And if he did, I would ask him to back it off. And I know Mentors, he would respectfully do that. I can tell. I've never met Mentors in person, but I could tell Mentors would respectfully do that. Exactly. What anybody does in their house should stay in their house. Now, if you bring it outside, that's okay. Just don't, hey, look at me. I'm gay. Hey, look at me. I'm this. I'm that. I'm Republican. I'm Democrat. I'm gay. I'm bi. I'm this. My pronouns are he, she, or they, or they, us. My pronouns are fuck around and find out. Simple as that. Simple as fucking that. Simple as that. Those are my pronouns. F-A-F fucking O. So guys, it just I'm sorry y'all hearing me scream, holler, say words that you may have never heard me say before. You may have heard them in the past, but it's been a long time. I just get bothered for what this country is going to because people don't like another side of politics. Now, my channel was never to be politics, but when I see shit like this, come on, guys. You can only take so much, and then you gotta let it out. And guys, shit like this turns my fucking stomach and makes me want to scream, shout, and holler. Because, guys, check this out. Check this out. This is a secret that when we are gone, our kids have to put up with worse than what we are doing now. It gets worse for our kids in the future. It gets worse for their kids in the future. It gets worse for their kids in the future. Because nobody's going to listen. Nobody's going to do nothing to change it. If we don't fucking change it now, nobody's going to change it. And that's what Trump is trying to do. He is trying to change things. Yeah, the BLM, fuck that. ALM. All lives matter. I don't care what color you are. I don't care what sex you are. I don't care what religion you are. All lives matter. ALM. Because, guys, one of these days, we're going to stand before the Almighty Judge, and He's going to open that Lamb's Book of Life. Lamb's Book of Life. And we're going to have to answer for a lot of things. You know, one thing I ain't going to have to answer for is trying to kill the president. Not me. There's a lot of dumb shit that I've done in the past. A lot of it. But I ain't going to have to answer for that. I'm not going to have to answer for trying to take someone else's life. All right, guys, here we go.
Very unexpected, but incredibly acted upon by Secret Service and law enforcement. And this was an event dedicated to freedom of speech that was supposed to bring together members of both parties with members of the press. And in a certain way it did, because the fact that they just unified, I saw a room that was just totally unified. It was in one way, very beautiful, a very beautiful thing to see. A man charged a security checkpoint armed with multiple weapons, and he was taken down by some very brave members of Secret Service, and they acted very quickly and have just released, for purposes of transparency, clarity, I've ordered it to be put out. You probably have it by now. Put out on Truth and put out on many of the platforms. A tape showing the violence of this thug that attacked our Constitution, and also showing how quickly Secret Service and law enforcement acted on our country's behalf. Really did a great job. One officer was shot, but saved by the fact that he was wearing obviously a very good bulletproof vest. He was shot from very close distance with a very powerful gun, and the vest did the job. I just spoke to the officer, and he's doing great. He's in great shape. He is has very high spirits, and we told him we love him and respect him, and he's a very proud guy. He's very proud of what he does, Secret Service agent. And we looked at all of the conditions that took place tonight, and I will say, you know, it's not a particularly secure building, and I didn't want to say this, but this is why we have to have all of the attributes of what we're planning at the White House. It's actually a larger room, and it's much more secure. It's drone-proof, it's bulletproof glass. We need the ballroom. That's why Secret Service, that's why the military are demanding it. They've wanted the ballroom for 150 years for lots of different reasons, but today's a little bit different because today we need levels of security that probably nobody's ever seen before. But everyone owes a tremendous debt of gratitude to the courage of law enforcement, the law enforcement, and working with the D.C. police. And we just spoke with the mayor. And when we're finished, the police chief is going to take over and discuss it also from their viewpoint. But they also performed exactly as they were supposed to. And you see the attacker in different positions, but you also see the attacker totally subdued and under control. So as you know, this is not the first time in the past couple of years that our republic has been attacked by a would-be assassin who sought to kill. In Butler, Pennsylvania, less than 2 years ago, you all know that story, and in Palm Beach, Florida, a few months after that, we came close. We really had, again, we had some great work done by law enforcement. But in light of this evening's events, I ask that all Americans recommit with their hearts in resolving our difference peacefully. We have to resolve our differences. I will say, you had Republicans, Democrats, independents, conservatives, liberals, and progressives. Those words are interchangeable, perhaps, but maybe they're not. But yet everybody in that room, big crowd, record-setting crowd. There was a record-setting group of people, and there was a tremendous amount of love and coming together. I watched, and I was very, very impressed by that. But First Lady and I were taken very well care of, very quickly rushed off the stage. Vice President J.D. Vance, who's here, was likewise beautifully done. He was just saying how quickly everybody acted, law enforcement, Secret Service in particular in this case, but law enforcement. Marco had the same thing. Pete was there. Pete didn't want any help. He didn't want anybody to help him. He doesn't want anybody to help him, but he did get some, didn't you? And I think you also said that it was very impressive. So with that, I'd like to ask Todd Blanche to come up, say a few words, and tell you it's already underway. The man has been captured. They're going to his apartment. I guess he lives in California, and he's a sick person, a very sick person, and we don't want things like this to happen. I think it's very important that I say, though, and I told the representatives of the evening, they did such a beautiful job. It was such a beautiful evening. And again, they're talking about free speech in our Constitution. That's what it's all about, not just White House correspondence. It was really based on free speech in our Constitution.
Sorry, I meant to
but
tell
I
you
said
all
very
that.
importantly that we'll do it again within the next 30 days, and we'll make it bigger and better and even nicer. So I just want to thank everybody that was involved. I also want to thank the press, the media. You've been very responsible in your coverage. I will say I've been seeing what's been out. You've been very responsible. So Todd Blanche, I'd like to say a few words, and then we're going to have cash. And then you're going to go on. We can ask, I guess we can take a couple of questions. I want to thank the First Lady that was a rather traumatic experience for her. There was a lot of action taking place up there very quickly. But again, the response time was really incredible. And we're going to reschedule. We're going to do it again. We're not going to let anybody take over our society. We're not going to cancel things out because we can't do that. We wanted to stay tonight. I will tell you, I fought like hell to stay. But it was protocol. They said, please, sir, because they didn't know there was a lot of action going on, and they didn't know could there be probably a lone shooter, but we'll find out. We'll find out very quickly. They have it very well under control. So I want to thank everybody very much. And Todd Blanche, please.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Tonight you saw the very worst and the very best of this country. You saw the very worst by the actions of that coward that the president just talked about. But you also saw the very best because you saw law enforcement do exactly what they're supposed to do. And you'll see the videos come out, I expect, very shortly, and you'll see law enforcement do exactly what we want them to do. And so I echo what what President Trump just said, that we are extraordinarily grateful and appreciative of the men and women of law enforcement that did their jobs tonight, including one who was injured. This investigation is ongoing. I expect you will see charges filed shortly. The charges should be self-evident given the conduct, but as you'll hear, there will be multiple charges surrounding the shooting, around the possession of firearms, and anything else that we can get on this guy. The investigation is obviously ongoing and just started. There is federal law enforcement already working on search warrants and doing their job, and I don't want to get ahead of them and don't want to get ahead of the work that they're doing even as we speak. Director Patel and I were just on the crime scene a short while ago, and everybody in this room should rest assured that the Metropolitan Police Department, the FBI, Secret Service, everybody's on the scene doing their job. I know that the police chief is going to give an update from the scene as soon as we're finished here, and I obviously will lead the details of what they have learned to him. But in the meantime, I just want to thank everybody in this room for the courage. And I want to thank President Trump for his words, and I promise you, justice will be served. Thank you. Director Patel.
Thank you, General. Thank you, Mr. President. The President's absolutely right. You saw the best resolve of American law enforcement because you, Mr. President, inspire them 24/7, 365. You give them the resources that they need, and they know that you have their back. And that is a changing dynamic in this country, and that's why you saw brave Secret Service agents respond immediately, swiftly, subdue and take down the suspect, and safeguard the lives of thousands of individuals at that hotel. Thanks to our interagency partnership with the Department of Homeland Security and the Metropolitan Police Department, the FBI was rapidly deployed onto the scene, took over the evidence response unit, is examining all the ballistics that were found on scene to include the long gun and the shell casings. We are conducting witness interviews as we speak. You will hear from our team on the scene there with the mayor and the head of the FBI field division there. But please know what the Attorney General has just said reigns no truer. You saw the very best of America tonight. The very best unite us at a time of uncertainty because we have leadership here with the President and the Vice President that backs law enforcement, and the men and women that I shook their hands on the scene today could not have been prouder to show up on scene. And as the Attorney General said, make no mistake, we are conducting witness interviews. If you have any information whatsoever related to this event, 1-800-CALL-FBI, 1-800-CALL-FBI. No piece of information is too small. No piece of information is inadequate. We will evaluate it all. We will also be conducting interviews of those that were there. And if any of those individuals have information, please come forward to law enforcement or the FBI or the Metropolitan Police Department. We will be examining this individual's background thoroughly. That process has already started. And we are going to ensure that he was either a lone wolf actor or anyone else that was responsible. We will analyze all evidence immediately to make sure that we safeguard this country. Mr. President, Mr. Vice President, thank you for your leadership. Attorney General and Homeland Secretary Merlin, thank you for your partnership in law enforcement.
Thank you. Okay, we'll do a couple and then we go to the chair. Madam Chairman, I just want to say you did a fantastic job. What a beautiful evening, and we're going to reschedule. And after that, it's very tough for her to ask a killer question, right? But you have done a fantastic job. Please.
Mr. President, I appreciate it. As you mentioned, it all happened so quickly.
Yeah.
And I wonder, especially because unfortunately you have experience with these sorts of threats, in that moment when you realized there was a threat and service agents were telling us to get down, can you describe what was going through your mind, how you were feeling in that moment?
That's a very good question, actually. It's always shocking when something like this happens. Happened to me a little bit, and that never changes. The fact, we were sitting right next to each other, First Lady on my right, and I heard a noise and sort of thought it was a tray. I thought it was a tray going down. I've heard that many times, and it was a pretty loud noise. And it was from quite far away. He hadn't breached the area at all. They really got him. but so it was quite far away, but it was a gun. And some people really understood that pretty quickly, other people didn't. I was watching to see what was happening, probably should have gone down even faster. Melania was very cognizant, I think, of what happened. I think she knew immediately what happened. She was saying, "That's a bad noise," and we were whisked away along with other people, but we were really whisked away. And again, the performance of the Secret Service and the police, all of the law enforcement, I thought was really good. So it was very quick. There wasn't a lot of time to be thinking, because it was a matter of seconds before we were out the door and gone into an area. We very much, and you wanted to too, we very much wanted to continue it, because I don't like to let these sick people, these thugs, these horrible, horrible people, change the fabric of our life, change the course of what we do. So we held out. You were there. We held out right till the end, but they didn't want to take a chance, and I understand it was protocol. But we're going to be doing one hopefully within the next 30 days or sooner, and I am ready, willing, and able. And I was all set to really rip it. And I said to my people, this would be the most inappropriate speech ever made if I said one. So I'll have to save it. I don't know if I could ever be as rough as I was going to be tonight. I think I'm going to be probably very nice. I'll be very boring the next time, but we're going to have a great event. And you did a fantastic job. Thank you very much. Peter, go ahead.
Thank you, President Trump. There's a report in the New York Post that this assailant assembled his weapon somewhere on site at the hotel. What do you think about that? And I ask respectfully, why do you think this keeps happening to you?
Well, you know, I've studied assassinations, and I must tell you, the most impactful people, the people that do the most, you take a look at the people, Abraham Lincoln, I mean, you go through the people that have gone through this where they got them, but the people that do the most, the people that make the biggest impact, they're the ones that they go after. They don't go after the ones that don't do much because they like it that way. And when you look at the people that have either, whether it was an attempt or a successful attempt, they're very impactful people. Just take a look at the names there, the big names. And I hate to say I'm honored by that, but I've done a lot. We've done a lot. We've taken this country, and we were a laughing stock for years, and now we're the hottest country anywhere in the world. We've changed this country. And there are a lot of people that are not happy about that. So I think that's the answer.
Thank you, President Trump.
Butler, your team for a while rethought outdoor events.
Yeah.
Do you think that you now need to rethink
No.
indoor?
Well, but then you just don't do events. No, I can't do that. I have to. It is what it is. We have to do it. The room was very, very secure. You know, he charged from 50 yards away, so he was very far away from the room.
And what did you think when you saw the video of how fast he was running?
He was moving. He was really moving. And the reaction time was great. Boy, those guys, they had their guns drawn literally by the time he was there. They were shooting.
That's right.
I thought they were very impressive. And if I didn't, I'd let you know. You know, I'm not going to be, I would not stand for that. No, I thought they were very impressive.
Thank you, President Trump, and thank you for updating us on the suspect earlier. Were you aware of any threats? Was your team aware of any threats beforehand? And do you believe you were the target of this tonight?
I guess. I mean, these people they're crazy. They're crazy, and you know, you never know. He was very far away from me. He had to go through a lot. We had resources all over. We had resources sitting at tables, literally in disguise, sitting maybe at your table, who knows? But we had people all over the room, so he had a long way to go. That was really a first line of defense, and they got him. And they really, you know, they acted incredibly. No, there was no notification. We had no idea. Go ahead, Kevin.
Do you know any political motivations from this?
Well, you never know. Now, we'll be able to tell you that maybe by tomorrow or the next day. You know, he's in custody, and they're asking him a lot of questions. I guess they're going over, Todd, and they're already at his apartment. He lives in California.
Yes, sir.
And they're over there, so they'll be able to tell you. Thank you, Caitlin.
Did the suspect say anything, or was he wearing anything that would allege some type of motive here?
No, I mean,
I don't know why the volume's down, guy. Can y'all still hear it? So it's not on me, it's on NBC then. Let me see if I can find another one, guys. Hold on. Give me just a second, guys. Give me just a second, guys.
What felt similar? You know, you had the First Lady with you today. What felt different? And you have another 2+ years in office. Are you concerned about something like this happening?
Well, I can't be concerned. I can only get great people.
They did the job. In my opinion, a much better job than Butler. Butler had one weak spot that we all know.
Can you hear it now?
Somebody should have been up there. But even Butler, we had our sniper on our side within 4.2 seconds from a distance of about 400 yards, one shot, and he was gone. And if he didn't do it, now, you know, he's David. His name was David. I say, hello, David, every time I see him. David, I like you very much, David. But think of that. Now, if he doesn't hit him, and he hit him right between the eyes from 400 yards without any notice, nobody knew. He heard a sound. He looked over, and there was actually a tree that was somewhat in his way. You know the story very well. And he aimed, he fired, and if he didn't do that, beyond me, you would have had a lot more people killed. We lost one great person and 2 people very badly hurt. They're okay now. But no, that was, so in a sense, you know, that was pretty amazing, the job they did. But they did have that one weak spot. As you know, they should have had that covered. Tonight they had everything covered very quickly. And he was fast. He was running full blast, and they got him before they got any further. I was very far away. You know, he hadn't anywhere close to breach the doors of the ballroom. The ballroom was sealed, and everybody in there. That's why once those doors opened, they didn't want to do tonight. If the doors weren't opened, we could have probably done it tonight, but I think we're much better off rescheduling. Yeah, please.
Mr. President, for you and perhaps law enforcement as well, what is the level of confidence that this was a lone actor, and has the suspect made any statements to police while in custody?
Yeah, I think it...
Sorry, guys. Jesus. They're trying to stop me from seeing it, guys. Hold on.
That's just my look at some of my...
I gotta get some memory for this computer, man.
Yeah, please, go ahead.
Are you concerned about political violence? This could be politically motivated.
All violence.
About everything. Look, but I can't be so concerned that you can't function. No, I'm here. It's a dangerous profession. You know, I tell the story, race car drivers, I think it's very dangerous.
So,
come on.
You take 1% and then take about 10% of 1%, just to break it down very easily.
They die. So much less than 1%, 10% of 1%. I think bull riding is very dangerous. If you take about the same, 10% of 1%, much less than 1%. But if you take presidents, it's 5.8%. And about 8% are shot at. So
Nobody told me this was such a dangerous profession. If Marco would have told me, maybe I wouldn't have run. Maybe I would have said, I'll take a pass. No, it's a dangerous profession, but I don't view it that way. Look, I'm here to do a job. It's part of the job. It is a dangerous, I can't imagine that there's any profession that's more dangerous. But I love the country, and I'm very proud. I'm very proud of the job we've done. You see what's happened. We have a great country. We've got, I think, the most successful, the hottest country anywhere in the world. This happened over a period of just a year, and we're going to do great things. But with that come risks. There's no question about it. Yeah.
To that end, I mean, there's been so much political violence, not just aimed at yourself, but at other members of Congress, state house speakers, you name it. Is that just the cost of doing business to do politics in America anymore?
Yeah, well,
what does that say about our country?
Too. We're not the only country. You look at this great violence with all countries. I was talking to somebody from another country today, and they have numerous assassinations of political figures all over the world. You look at South America, it's like some of the numbers are just horrific. It's dangerous stuff, whether it's here or someplace else. No country is immune. No country. Good question.
Will we turn that temperature down at this point?
Well, probably if I decided to just not do much, if I let everybody rip us off and take advantage of us. Look, we're leading the world in trade now. We're leading the world in the military. We're the greatest military in the world. I rebuilt it in my first term, and now we use it because we have no choice. We can't let, as an example, Iran, we can't let them get a nuclear weapon. Everything will be peanuts compared to that if they ever were given a nuclear weapon, and they'd use it too. Marco and I were talking about it today. They would use it without even hesitation. We can't do that. It was a shame. I said, oh boy, look at the numbers. We just broke 50,000 in the Dow.
Possibility, mentor, possibility.
They said we couldn't do it in 7 years, in 5 years, 4 years. They were saying maybe in 5 or 6 years. And we did it in 1 year. And I called everybody together. I called all of these people and others, and I said, we have to take a little journey. I see to do this. We just had the great number. We just broke 50,000. Wasn't supposed to happen during my term. Wasn't reachable. We did it in 1 year, and I said, we're going to have to make a journey to Iran. They're going to have a nuclear weapon if we don't do it. We had the B-2 bombers take them out. I terminated in the first term the Obama agreement, the Iran nuclear agreement, which was a disaster. That was a road to a nuclear weapon. They would have used it. They would have used it 100%. So, when you do things like that, you become a target. If I wasn't doing that, I guess I'd be a lot less of a target. But I'm honored to be. Okay, one more question.
Do you know how the gun was brought into the hotel? And also, how does this event impact you as the leader of our country? Do you think it will change?
I like not to think about it.
I don't know why it keeps cutting down, guys, so give me a chance and I'll try and get it back. This is the last question. Let me turn it up.
As well as it can be handled. I think a lot of other people...
Can y'all hear it there?
They become basket cases, to be honest. I'm not a basket case. I really take it as it is. I do it for the country. I'm not doing it for any other reason. I have a First Lady who's doing a terrific job. She loves the country, and she recognizes it better than anybody. She's told me numerous times, she said, you are in a dangerous job. But that goes along with her, too. I mean, it's dangerous for her, too. We sat there tonight, we heard that noise, and it was either a tray or a bullet. I was hoping it was a tray, but it wasn't. And again, we had some very brave people doing a great job, so we're very proud of them and happy with them. I just want to thank everybody. They will be able to give you all that information as to the names and everything else. I think we released the names already. Most of you would have it, but his name. We appreciate it. I see so many tuxedos and beautiful dresses. It was a little different evening than we thought, but we're going to do it again, and we have a great chairman who we're so proud of, and we have to make it better.
Sorry about that.
We'll make it safer, I guess, right? But we're going to make it even better. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you.
President Trump, so we hear from her about how impactful this was. Can we hear from her about...
Well, honey, would you want to say something?
Okay.
Huh?
One in the back, sir.
Millions of people across the globe, in fact, are watching you. You demonstrated courageous leadership, and thank God you're alive, all of us are alive today. What is the message that you want to give to the world that this should change? What corrective measures can we take from here on?
Well, all you can do, look, I don't care how many people you have, how good they are. They can be the greatest people. You have the greatest security in history. If you have a whack job who's got a brain, but it's a little bit distorted or a lot distorted, they can make trouble. I would say, Pete, right? You know, they can make trouble. Some of these people are of genius level IQ, and they're nuts. So it can be trouble. So you do absolutely the best. You get the best. We have the best people. Well, look, it was proven tonight. He started running from 50 yards, and he was fast. He was like a blur on tape. He was moving. It was very impressive the way they got him, because a lot of people would be looking and saying, you know, it's like a weird feeling, and they would let him get through, but they didn't let him get through. They drew those guns so fast. They looked like Matt Dillon. They looked like somebody that knew what they were doing. We really do, but it comes with the territory. And if you want to do a great job, I really believe that. And you take a look at what's happened to some of our greatest presidents, and it doesn't happen to people that don't do anything. And it's not going to deter me from winning the war in Iran. I don't know if that had anything to do with it. I really don't think so, based on what we know. But we're going to continue to do a great job. That's all I can do. Thank you very much. I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you. Thank you.
We've just been listening to the president speak after shots were fired just outside the White House Correspondents' Dinner at the Washington Hilton in the nation's capital. The president saying a man who lives in California charged a security checkpoint armed with multiple weapons before being taken down by the Secret Service. I'm going to ask our director to roll that video that has been released now by the White House. You can see how fast this man was coming. Look to the left side of your screen. He's sprinting right past Secret Service when they draw their weapons and begin to fire. The shooter was not able to breach the doors to the ballroom dinner. The president also sharing that a Secret Service agent was shot in the chest but was saved by a bulletproof vest. The president saying he heard a loud noise and thought it was the sound of a tray going down, and he was quickly rushed off the stage. The president also praising law enforcement for acting quickly and saying he hopes he will be able to share more on the shooter's motivations in the coming days. The White House also releasing a photo of the alleged shooter taken down by both Secret Service and D.C. law enforcement. This is a picture right now. One of the images they've released two different images of the shooter. It's still unclear, one, how he brought the weapon into the Washington Hilton, how he was able to bring that weapon into the hotel where the dinner was being hosted. Two, how he was able to at least run as fast as he was, running through at least one perimeter. But again, the president making it very clear he was very far from the entrance to the ballroom. Essentially saying that his life, the president's life, it was in danger, but not in danger in the sense that the man was so close he could start firing through the doors or at least into the ballroom. And again, we're still learning a lot as we get more information from the White House. At any minute, we're waiting for D.C. Police, the Metropolitan Police Department here in Washington, along with the D.C. Mayor, Mayor Bowser, to host a news conference to give us some information. As soon as that starts, we're going to bring that to you live. Gabe Gutierrez is at the White House for us tonight, along with our team. Garrett was in there as well.
All right, guys, give me just a minute. I got to say something. I'm going to bring this down. And, look, that was awesome security. Guys, I'm going to say this, and I hope nobody gets upset. No, he's in jail. He's in jail. All right, all right. I'm just going to go ahead and say it. Guys, we're living in a time where disagreement has turned into division. And division has too often turned into distrust. Lines have been drawn so sharply between Republicans and Democrats that it can feel like we're no longer neighbors, man. No longer neighbors, but opponents. No longer fellow citizens, but rivals. But that's not who we are in this United States of America. At our core, we are people who care about our families, our communities, and the future of this country. We may disagree on how to solve problems, but disagreement is not a weakness of democracy. It is a foundation. The real danger begins when we stop seeing each other as people worth listening to. We've allowed labels to replace understanding. Republican, Democrat. These words have become shortcuts and ways to assume, dismiss, and divide. That shouldn't happen, guys. That shouldn't happen. But behind every label is a human being with experience, fears, hopes, and values shaped by their own life story. No one wakes up in the morning wanting what's worse for this country. We all want safety, opportunity, dignity, and a future we can believe in. We simply have different ideas about how to get there. So what if, instead of trying to win every argument, we tried to understand one another's arguments? What if we listened and not responded, but to truly hear? What if we chose curiosity over contempt? Respect does not mean agreement. Unity does not mean uniformity. We can stand firm in our beliefs while treating others with decency. We can challenge ideas without tearing down the people who hold them. Because at the end of the day, we're the same team, even if we've forgotten it. The country has faced greater challenges than political division, and we've overcome that, not by shouting louder, but by coming together. Remember 9/11? We come together for that. Not by erasing differences, but by recognizing a shared purpose. We don't have to choose between conviction and compassion. We can have both. Let's be the generation that lowers the volume, that rebuilds trust, that remembers what it means to be united because we agree on everything. But because we refuse to let disagreement tear us apart. The future of this country isn't decided by one party, it's decided by all of us together. And together, we are stronger than divisions. Guys, this is just so ridiculous. You heard Trump say, why do you think that they're trying to do this? Same thing that I said, because a lot of great men have different ideas than what some people may have. They try and take them out. Lincoln, Reagan, Kennedy. How many more do I need to say? How many more do I need to say? There's so many. There's so many in there, guys. There's so many in there. And they all do this, guys. They all do this. There's a huge generational gap. So guys, I'm going to go to bed. I'm going to go over here. I'm going to read a Bible. And I'm going to pray for Mr. Trump. And guys, I don't care whether you voted for Trump. I don't care whether you voted for Kamala. I don't care who you voted for. Tonight before you go to bed, pray for this country. Pray for your president. Whether you like him or not, he is your president. I didn't like Biden, but I still prayed for that man. I don't like Kamala, but I still pray for that man, woman, whatever. So guys, as I end the show tonight, just remember, let's go back to America. See my hat that is on my head there? Make America great again. Let's make America great again. Let's make American people great again. And guys, we can't handle it by ourselves. So let's lay this at the feet of God, at the foot of his throne. We can't do it. He can. We can try to do it. But if we can't, he can. So guys, don't forget, tomorrow at 2 p.m., I'm going live on White Trash Family for church service with Chad Vance. He will be preaching. And then I will be doing Sunday night service. So come on over there again, guys. I hope you enjoy that part. Guys, if you enjoyed this show tonight and you'd like to, you can tip right there in the Cash App that's scrolling across the bottom of the screen. You don't have to do it. This is the only way that this channel will ever be making any money. I'm not going to monetize it. Even if I get it back up there, I'm not going to bow down to YouTube's wishes. I am not going to monetize it. So the tips would be appreciated. They're not required. The only requirement is you come in here, enjoy the time that you spend in here with family and friends, and enjoy the show. And if you did enjoy the show and you're re-watching it right now, please leave a comment below. So guys, much love and respect. I'll see you for Sunday's service at 2 p.m. and we will see you again tomorrow. Guys, if there's any more things, be looking in the posts on my channel page here, and I will post as much as I can. But guys, I love each and every one of you, and thank you for being here tonight. If any of the ladies would like to throw up some flags in chat as I play the song, just remember, my pronouns are fuck around, find out. Love each and every one of you. You guys be good, stay safe. We'll see you tomorrow at 2 p.m. on White Trash Family.